VinController.eu. Check vehicle history for every used car in Europe. Welcome to another Boostmania International video. As you might have seen on the thumbnail, we're on our way to the Essen Motor Show. I've never been there, but I always wanted to see it with my own eyes. So that's why we're going there. The navigation tells us it's a 9-hour trip, but since it's nice and snowy outside, and it's the first Advent weekend, I'm afraid it might take as long as 12 hours. Anyways, we'll see. I'd like to introduce one of my friends. Hello, what's your name? Andre. Okay, so that's my friend Andre. And sitting in the back is my assistant, Matej. What's up? So, we told ourselves we'd leave on Sunday, we check out the Essen Motor Show on Monday, and we come back on Tuesday. But during the trip, we're planning on checking out some awesome places. But you'll see all that later in this video. So, our next stop, the Essen Motor Show. Well, we arrived, but not in Essen, but in Dortmund. We're in front of a JP Performance building, because this guy is an idol to me. He's doing things I would like to achieve with tuning as well one day. And I just simply had to see this place, since it's 50 kilometers from Essen. And on the inside, it's pretty interesting. There's a line of people for a burger that's sticking 10 meters from the building. I'm curious how it looks on the inside. So it's finally day 2 and we're at Essen Motor Show. I have no idea what awaits us inside. I'm still working through the memories of yesterday, because that JP Performance building was just awesome. And right the next day we're jumping into a motor show. What would you like to see the most? Some nice rims and tuning parts. Okay, I'm sorry, I just can't wait. Let's go inside and take a look. We have to put rims like this on one of our cars. I don't know which one, but we have to. Right now we're at Road Reform booth and we have some problems with the police. But seriously, Road Reform might just be the best rim manufacturer in the world. Correct me if I'm wrong. But what they're doing, you won't see anywhere else. If you look at its rim, I can put my hand in there. So this is where your tire ends. And this whole beautiful thing pokes out. That's just unbelievable. And come look at this one. This is a different type. This is a big 3-piece wheel. And this whole third part is mounted to the wheel separately. Rims like this on an X5 or a Q8? Just perfect. I can't believe it. Every new rim I look at from them, my jaw just drops. Yes, they're really expensive, but we'll have to buy some. That's just a no-brainer. And we're finally next to a car I wanted to see. The Dacia Duster from Prior Design. But I have to say, in real life, it's all a bit weird. If you come and look a bit closer, those wheels, they're just sunken inside by like 4 to 5 centimeters. They also look too small for the car. And I'm not even gonna say anything about the drum brakes in the back, cause it's a Dacia. It's all looking a bit weird, and I'm not sure the black suits it that well, because if the fenders were body colored, I think it would look a lot more natural. Like on this car, for example. This is a very rare Audi S2. This one also has a body kit from Prior Design, but this one was a limited edition that was sold out the moment it was released. Shout out to QMS Motorsport in Pezinok, because they wanted to order some and they sold out immediately. I must say that this car looks incredible, but that thing is weird. But Prior Design has a lot more cars in here. Here are more Prior Design cars, like this Lamborghini Urus. And I think they finally made this a proper Lamborghini. Because the Urus, well, you can always see it's an RSQ8. But now finally it looks like it should. A proper aggressive racer. If you drive this on Slovak roads, the police would probably run away. Here is one incredibly cool car, or rather van. And if you think this is a wrap, it's not. This is all airbrush. This whole van was designed by many artists using airbrush, and it took several weeks to finish. And what's pretty cool about this design is that you can see some familiar faces in here. There's famous people all around the van. This is incredibly cool to me. I think we found a winner for the Vivaro design. And come look at this. For example, here on the front hood, there's Albert Einstein. Just look at this, the whole front end is custom made. But the base van is from MAN. I'm pretty sure of it because of the lights. But everything about this is custom. Even these skulls down here. Right now we've moved to the null bar display, and they specialize in air suspension. And there's just so many cool cars around. American cars, European cars, Japanese cars. Just look at this Audi. It has some nice MB design rims. That's like 800 euros a piece. And there's also an interesting roll cage inside. On the back side, it's actually attached to the chassis by Isofix. And on the front side, it's solidly mounted to the chassis. Of course, it has a custom interior from leather and Alcantara. It has a very nice wrap, and the whole car just looks so incredible. I'm standing at a Maxton design booth right next to a new Hyundai i30N, but what's more important is this Cupra Formentor. It's just dropped to the floor, which I liked very much, and the whole design with the wrap and the wheels are just perfect. And if you don't know, Maxton Design is a company that creates simple body kits or accessories to a car. We'll add all those to the GTI and the ST we have. But hear me out, we should buy something like this and drop it to the ground. Here we have a Toyota Supra that has some e-Venturi parts installed. And if you look in here, instead of the headlight, straight to the inside, we have a carbon intake. So here we have the BMW S55 engine that was used in the M3, M4 and the M2 competition, with an e-Venturi intake, with a patented design, brand new carbon charge pipes, which won't explode at high power numbers. And here we have a CSF aftermarket charge cooler, which ensures that intake temperatures stay minimal, even at much higher boost pressures. We're now at the How Deep booth, and by the way, they also have a YouTube channel, so go check them out. Here we have a Volkswagen T2. It's also lowered a bit, but if you just look at the car, you can see this patina everywhere. But on this car, it's not rust. It's a very nice build on a very simple car, and it can still look this nice. By the way, the interior is completely gutted. There's like nothing inside there, just the front seats. Next up, we have a very nice Mark IV Golf. I think it's painted in a very beautiful color, but I'm not quite sure how you're seeing it through the video. By the way, Porsche wheels. Just so you know. The next car they have on display is this beautiful Audi RS5. Of course with the V8 engine, and there's one very special Porsche in the back. You just might be able to see the rims. I'm pretty sure some of you know this car, so let's go look at it. So here we are next to the Porsche, which has a very special feature. Normal 911s have their headlights up there, but this one is a slant nose conversion. It has the headlights at the bottom, so you can immediately see it's special. And don't get me started on these rims. Of course this is a wide body car, and well, just look at my hand. I don't think I have a small hand. That's some big wheels. Amazing. We finally arrived at the JP Performance booth, which is the same guy we were at yesterday, by the way. He has a pretty nice wide-body GTR in here, but you can see the aero is actually functional. It has a brutal set of wheels from Rotiform, and you might not know this, but JP is their distributor for Germany and Austria. It has some beautiful orange calipers, which look stunning with the wheels. And remember when I was telling you the aero is functional? You can see all the rocks and stuff it sucked up from the street. And the whole car is on air suspension. Right here is the air tank that raises it up or down. Oh, and this is what the exhaust can fit in. A whole fist. That's what I call a good exhaust. And here's another car I was looking forward to a lot. The second generation Volkswagen New Beetle, built like the one from Gran Turismo games. Special 22-inch Rotiform wheels that were made custom to this car. They should be available now, but they were first designed specially for this car. And the whole body kit is a one-off by prior design. I can fit my hand through there. The engine is of course modified, and the exhaust ends in here. There's 2 exhaust tips on each side. They didn't waste their time pulling it to the back. On the inside there's a roll cage that holds this car together. Some Recaro seats inside, and here you can see how you add fuel to this car. Because obviously this filler cap no longer works. So here you have the tank vent, which vents all the fuel vapor, and you fill it up here. And in the back we have this massive wing, which actually goes through the Lexan rear window, and it's connected to the roll cage. I just can't believe what I'm seeing. There was a big problem when they were designing this body kit, and it was to make this flap sturdy enough to withstand high speeds. And this car actually moves under its own power. You can see it on many of JP's videos. Of course it can't drive on normal roads, but a very similar body kit is going to be manufactured by Prior Design for the new Beetle. So we might buy it and put it on a Beetle, because we like them. And here's a Mark II Golf from JP Performance. Originally, this wasn't supposed to be a real car. It was just a computer render. But JP told himself, oh, we have to build this. The front lip, some incredible Rotiform wheels. But the craziest thing about this car is that the engine, a VR6, is right here in the back, powering the rear wheels. Right to these huge Rotiform wheels. And it has a massive wing. You can change 3 kids' diapers on that one. That's how it's done. We finally got to the first hall. We're here since 10 AM and it's almost 5:30. They're closing at 6. So now we know one day is definitely not enough to go through all this. But that doesn't matter because of the car I'm next to right now. A real RWB. You might have heard of it. And this is it. I've always wanted to see one. Because my absolute idol and guru, Nakai-san, has hand-built this car and it's his own design. You just have to see one of the videos where it's being built. Anyway, in this hall there are some more booths from KWST, Bilstein, Eibach, and many other awesome brands. So we're gonna try to move quickly and capture everything, because this place is just so huge. This is truly an incredible experience. You have to visit someday. Because today I found my true love. An Audi RS3, the sedan. Driving in Bratislava in a car like this? Sign me up! We're at the BBS booth, which is interestingly connected to the KW booth, but for some reason, I was never really a fan of BBS wheels. They just didn't fit me. But seeing them here might have changed my mind. These ones look amazing. For example, these two-piece wheels. They have such a beautiful color. I'm not sure how you're seeing it on camera, but the color is matte and glossy at the same time. And it looks awesome. And this might be because I've never looked into BBS much, but I'm really starting to warm up to these rims. There are also some crazy colors, like the gold ones in the back. I think I'm starting to like BBS a lot. I'm not sure if I'm just getting older or what, but they just have such a beautiful design. Aren't these a bit too small? Are BBS going to make rims for go-karts? Well, actually not. They're just trying to show everybody that they're starting to introduce new colors. Because they've always been about the gold and the silver. So I'm really glad BBS is trying to modernize their design. And now we're on the other side, in the KW booth. Right opposite to it, there's ST, and there in the back, you might just see it, AP suspensions. By the way, all owned by KW now. But each brand has its special features. For example, with the ST suspensions, you can specify the color. We actually specified blue ones for our Ford Focus ST. A custom set of coilovers with the blue color and Boostmania logo. That's something only ST suspension does. Everywhere you look, there's cool stuff around. You can see all the suspension sets and they are explained beautifully. All the differences between them, how they work. You can start here and go through every one of them. KW1, 2, Club Sport, Street Comfort, and it's all nicely explained in here. You can look at everything on the tablet and within a minute there's somebody to help you. I just don't get it. Why don't we have something like this in Slovakia? And right next to the Eibach booth, there's the Nürburgring booth. That's just so awesome! A Nürburgring booth! I have to go there one day. Shout out to Zdeno from Job Garage. Why is there nothing like this in Slovakia? Slovakia never presents itself like this. On every motor show, we just have a few new cars and that's it. So, let's enjoy it in here at least. The interactivity in here is just genius. You can do a lap of Nürburgring on a sim rig here. And right opposite to this is a Recaro booth. You can come here and sit on the actual seats. I think this is a big problem in Slovakia. You can only order stuff like this online, and you never really know how it fits you. This is a great idea. Let's have a seat. Sadly, we won't be here on the 2nd of December. Right now, we're in hall number 5, and all these cars belong to ordinary people. So if you have a nice and interesting build, you might end up here someday. Here we have a Rocket Bunny Cayman, and right next to it is a BMW E30 with a flip-out front end. I've never seen anything like this. As you can see, there's some crazy builds here, and I can't wait to see all of them. So let's enjoy it while it lasts. So, it's almost 6 o'clock and they'll probably throw us out in a bit. But I wanted to show you this. This is a huge tank that has a howitzer on the top. I have no idea how they got it in here. The German army has it here for display, but the German army brought it here to recruit some more people into the army. And by the way, this is like 3 times wider than a normal car. Welcome back, it's day number 3, and we're at JP Performance building number 1. I still can't believe he has 4 buildings. So, the first thing you can see is the Iron Man. But looking around a bit more, you can see this Toyota Supra Mark IV. This one is a 6-speed manual and a Targa top. What else would you want? Right next to it a Turbo 911, and back there is a GT2. And back there on that awesome wall, you can see a big selection of rotiform wheels, and you can order any of them here. And the whole atmosphere in here is so nice. I think this is how it's supposed to be done. Here you have a suspension display with KW, Bilstein, Eibach. There's a whole wall with APR parts, intakes, exhausts, as well as a Maxton design stand. All the brands they sell. You can come in, look at it, try it out, touch it, and it's all beautifully explained. And they are really eager to help you tune your car, either to make it street legal or a complete monster. A very nice atmosphere and pleasant music, and a very pleasant smell as well, since there are cars inside. I think this is how it's supposed to be done. I want to do something like this in Slovakia, so that you can come in and have your car tuned by us. But right now we're going to continue on our trip, because there's something else we wanted to check out. Some time has passed, and we're at the Sydney Industries building. Sydney is the guy who has the RWB, and by the way, he has another one in here, but we'll get to that. I know it looks a bit empty, but most of his cars are at the motor show. But there's an interesting car in here. Yeah, of course there's a GT2, but that's a pretty ordinary car in here, as you can see. But this Beetle just hits different. It's lifted on Bilstein suspension, and the whole interior is reworked. What a thing of beauty. Of course there's another Porsche here, and right there we have a Cabriolet Beetle. You won't see many of those on our roads. This is the 200 horsepower version. It has the same engine as the Beetle we've seen yesterday at JP's booth. But the most interesting cars are hidden in the back, so let's have a look. This is another Volkswagen T2, which has had all its paint ground down, so there's literally no paint, only a layer of clear coat. It's been dropped down quite a bit and it's on BBS rims. And the interior is beautifully made as well. This car is an absolute gem. Sydney had several sale offers, but he declined every one of them. But there's even more interesting things in the back. You might not want to believe me when I tell you this is actually a Porsche. The Porsche Diesel Junior. Yeah, Porsche made tractors in the past. I bet there's loads of these still running in Germany. And now let's look a bit further, and this absolute beauty comes out of the dark. Imagine this. Sydney doesn't have just one RWB, he has 2 of them. And on this one you can nicely see, since this is only a chassis, but you can see how this RWB is made. You can see how the over fenders fit, and how they're fixed to the body, as well as all the other components. You can even fit your hands inside in here and feel around. Usually there's a tire, so you can't see anything. It's absolutely incredible to see this. So, we're on our last stop, the Automotive Museum Pace by JP Performance. And behind me is a very special car, a GT3 Mercedes. The whole museum has around 30 race cars. Sadly, thanks to the pandemic, since yesterday everything is closed to the public, so we can't get in. So that's a shame. But I think this is a great motivation to come back next year. See you in the next one.